Yeah, this shit was turned. What's up, guys? It's Courtney, one half of the Brothers of Deconstruction here, and today I'm going to bring you my review for Halloween. Oh, by the way, this is my stereotypical spoiler warning, I guess. But does Halloween really need one? I mean, you guys know that people get killed and stuff. This is a sequel to the original Halloween from 1978, John Carpenter's Halloween. It's directed by David Green. I'm pretty sure I'm messing this name up. I'll probably put it somewhere down here. And surprisingly, was actually written by Danny McBride of Eastbound and Down fame, and he had a writing partner as well. And this movie is good. It is a slasher film. It's a sequel to the slasher film. While it is a slasher film, it does take some they made some smart decisions in this writing for this sequel. But throughout the movie starts out with Michael getting out, or it doesn't start out that way, but we're introduced to some like radio personalities, some podcasters, they're investigative journalists, and they're looking into Michael. And so he eventually gets out and starts killing people again. And Laurie, along the way we're introduced to Laurie Strode's daughter, so Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter, who Judy Greer plays. I love her from Archer.
She's got a weapon! Drop it! You're not my supervisor!
And then we're also introduced to her granddaughter. We're introduced to her, and we basically, find out Laurie is agoraphobic. She's basically like this doomsday prepper, waiting for the return of Michael, or always being prepared. And it's kind of sad, but it's an interesting look, to me at least, to figure out like, hey, is this a possibility? Like, she doesn't play the damsel in distress. And for so many people to be parading and praising like strong female characters in movies and in different media and everything like that, this is a really good take on it, because on one end she's not a damsel in distress, but on the other end you can tell she's afraid, but that fear powers her, and she harnesses that to empower herself, because she's a doomsday prepper. She's agoraphobic. She's literally so afraid of Michael to the point where she prepares herself diligently so she can kill him if he ever comes back. And I thought that was a really interesting take, because it seemed at least to me, it seemed very much so that she was, kind of depressed and almost a little suicidal or homicidal. She was suicidal. I don't know which one yet. But it was a very interesting look to me. And the guy who played Michael, I think, is one of the original actors from the 1978 movie. This movie has some good scares in it, but overall it's very, very unsettling. And I just love the way that Michael like interacts and moves and everything like that. And it's not perfect. It's a slasher movie. It's a horror movie. People are stupid. There are some very dumb decisions made by some of the people, some of the characters. I mean, in typical, slasher film, they got killed because of it. I would like to see people stop being so stupid in horror movies, but, if people aren't stupid, or if people don't make certain decisions, then movies don't happen. So I can understand that. But it doesn't detract away from the movie. Overall, guys, this movie is good. It has some good scares. It has some very good tension. And they did and this is why I like Blumhouse so much. This movie did a great job of creating tension without using the stereotypical jump scare. Whatever you do, do not Google jump scare. don't go down that rabbit hole of looking at videos of jump scares and things like that. Just don't. Make me that promise. They do a really, like I said, they do a really good job of creating tension. So there are a couple of scares, but when Michael's on screen, shit happens. So if you see him in the background and you know that he's there, then they just drop the music. There's no like score that tells you something's about to happen. They drop the music and you got somebody walking around or driving or looking or something like that. And you're like, something's about to happen. I don't know what though. And I love that because in typical fashion, yeah, you know something's going to happen. But there are moments in the movie where nothing happens. But they've done such a good job creating that tension where it's like, I know this doesn't feel quite right, so I don't know who's going to come out of it alive or what's going to happen. There is a reason to the rigid nature and the discipline of Laurie being so prepared. And again, I've already given my spoiler warning. But it's basically a trap for Michael, so she can kill him. Like in the trailer when she says,
I pray every night that he would escape.
What the hell did you do that for?
So I can kill him.
she wasn't playing. It's the whole house in the back of the woods and everything like that, the doomsday basement and guns and everything like that. She was coming prepared. And I think one of the best moments, actually there are two best moments. One, Michael stabs Laurie and then not throws her, but he throws her off the balcony and she hits the roof, rolls off. And then he walks up and looks at her body from the balcony, and then he hears Allison, the granddaughter, comes into the house, and then the daughter, her mom, gets her into the basement. And so in the time where he realizes, oh, somebody else is in the house, he turns and looks back and Laurie's body is gone. And I called that out in my theater. I was just saying, I hope her body is gone. Or I didn't even say I hope. I literally said her body's going to be gone. Because that would be a great moment. Because at one point throughout the house, after that moment, when Michael started walking back through the house, he grabbed like a fire poker. And it very much seemed like he was being hunted now. At least that's what I got from it. And it was cool because even the way that he was reacting, it seemed like he was more cautious. And they mentioned that at some point in the movie, the crazy doctor, he thinks that Michael and Laurie's connection could be the key to why he's still alive or why the other is still alive. And he said something about either going from the hunter to the hunted might be the thing that's tying them together, keeping them alive. But that was the first best moment. The other one was basically Judy Greer's character. There were a couple of moments where she was like holding the gun and the aim was all over the place and everything like that. And she breaks down and she just starts bawling like, "Mom, come help us. I can't do this. I'm not ready, blah, 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 this and that." And this is after Michael was basically ripped off the fucking kitchen island that's the door to the basement. And so after he rips it off, he doesn't immediately stand in the doorway or in the stairwell to the basement. He just, waits for opportunity. And she just starts going crazy like, "Hey, we need help. Come help us. Like, I can't do this." And then he pops up and then all of a sudden she just turns around like, "Gotcha," and then just shoots him. And then they start jumping him and it was a trap. And she tells her daughter that. She was like, "This was never a cage," because she basically tells her daughter throughout the movie like, "Hey, this is how I grew up. Child Protective Services took them away from me. This is my childhood." And it almost seemed like it was a cage, but it wasn't. And she tells her daughter, "This wasn't a cage. This was a trap." And so they basically trap him in the basement, press a button where a bunch of burners get turned on into the house with gas, and they burn the entire house down. Now there's a cool little post-credit scene, I guess, like that, during the credits. So you just sit through the credits and everything, and you hear Michael breathing. Now, there are points in the movie where you can hear him breathing, but he's not on screen. And that adds to the creepiness, because I think, I haven't seen the original Halloween. I've seen parts of it. I haven't watched it all the way through. But I don't know if that was something that they did in the original Halloween, actually, let you hear him breathing. I know they had him just standing in random spots here and there, but I don't know if you can actually hear the breathing or not. But this time they did it throughout the movie. So basically the post-credit scene, as the credits were fading away, the music just kind of fades out and then you hear him breathing. So I kind of be interested to see where they go with the sequel. But I mean, it all depends. I mean, it opened to like 80 million this weekend. So I'm guessing that it's going to get a sequel, depending on where they want to go with the story. And yeah, I got another video that I got to edit with me and Bruce. And I might make another couple of videos. I'm planning on doing another podcast episode as well. So stay on the lookout for that. And yeah, see you guys later.